So moving further to explain the major difference between a traditional browser, I mean our normal browser, and the installed browser that is in Burp. Like I said, a traditional browser, you would need to install the proxy there. So for my case, I'm using Foxy proxy. For the sake of a browser that is already installed, you don't need to install any proxy. It is already installed for you. Now, if you are using an ordinary browser, I would prefer to install Foxy proxy. Now, let's just follow the step and the configuration as if you are using ordinary browser. So Foxy proxy extension, we click on it. We have to install the extension first. When we install the extension, then we have to activate it. So now let's click on add to Firefox. Because whenever we want to intercept any network, we have to put on or off the proxy, and mind you, it is Foxy proxy that we are using. So we wait for it to finish loading up or finish installing. Then we can proceed. Meanwhile, while it is doing that, it's good for you to note that Burp can actually be used to handle more than one target. I mean, handle multiple targets. I don't know why it's actually taking time. It's not meant to take time. Okay, so while that is doing, I'm not going to, because of this, waste much of our time. So let's proceed straight into Burp Suite. Let me explain what it is and how it works. Okay, so we move down to Burp. Now, I'm going to start from the very beginning. This is Burp 2, like we have it. Now, let's start from which should we start from? We've talked about proxy. Let's start from the target. This is the target. Okay, good. Now, while proxy remains the main tool, the target tab is just like our desktop. This target tab is like our desktop. All our tools, we assemble all our tools, files, and even folders before embarking on a major project here. Yeah, this target tab, I referred to it as feature before. We can as well call it tab now. So we can call this beneath it sub-tabs. Now, this target tab has two sub-tabs, which is the sitemap and the scope. The scope sub-tab allows us to set the scope for our testing. While the sitemap, that's this sitemap, it just it shows us all the requested and even the unrequested items for the steps for the website. The sitemap sub-tab, still on this, automatically collects data from other sources, including the proxy, this one, the spider, that's when it's doing spidering, then even active and passive scanner, that's if we are using professional version. Now, let me show you the sitemap activities involved therein. So let's go to this one. Now, let's click on this to check out what is there. So we can see several informations contained therein. Now, What are the advantages of having the entire site as a map in one place? If you remember very well during the beginning classes or early classes, I said something about definitions of word, how you can break down a word and know the meaning. Same thing applies here, site map. Just like you have the map of the site, everything embedded in one area. So what are the advantages of having site, like the entire site as a map in one place? There are many. Now to begin with, it provides a nice visual indication about where we are on track, whether we are on track with our scope or not. Also, this site map can give us visual cues. Can also indicate which web page or link have already been visited and which one have not been visited. Now you can see from here we have the host, we have the method that is used, we have the URL parameter, we have the status, and I'm sure we all know the meaning of this status 200 from the 100 series, 200 series down to 500 series. So we have the time requested. So the requested items show up in a darker column. Now to the requested item actually show up in a darker column, yes, and as opposed to the unrequested ones. Now from this that you are seeing, you can actually know a lot about the sitemap, or with frequent work you know a lot about the sitemap. We'll not dwell more on the sitemap to make this video as comprehensive as possible. Now next, let's move to our, let me make this